And so I was like, how do I make that transition from being just transactional to actually helping people out, making a bigger cause?
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Path. I'm your host, Jim Lee, and I'm so excited to have you here. The podcast is about investors' journey, not just the highlight reel, but the real raw path an investor must take to live out the vision that they have and the dreams. Whether you're a first-time real estate starting out or you're a seasoned pro, we're here to discover the wins, losses, the lesson, and what it really takes to be a successful real estate investor. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Joseph. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate you, Jim.
Yeah. So Joseph and I, we are both in Pace Morby's mastermind group. We're both very excited to be attending Monterey this coming week. And so Joseph, can you share a little bit of background about yourself? Give us a little context.
Absolutely. So I have a background, Jim, in maintenance engineering. So that's my trade that I started out in. I still do my W-2 to this day. And so my background starts off maintenance engineering, right? So I get experience with HVAC, plumbing, electrical. So I always had this interest, like, what does it look like in residential? Because I work in a commercial building. The reason why I got into real estate, because, obviously California, prices out here are outrageous. So I was able to afford a home, but $4,600 a month, $5,000 a month, it's not sustainable long term, even with a six-figure job. You got to really be making a lot of money out here. Not only that, I was also getting bent over by Uncle Sam left and right? So I was looking for those tax write-offs. I really wanted to find a better path for my children. So I was looking for more way to collect passive income and get tax write-offs. I started out in real estate, and yeah, man, it's just been an amazing journey so far. Joined Pace's Subto, and then slightly after I joined Owners Club. And my journey has been amazing so far, man. I've been able to accomplish so much in 2 years. So I've been having fun with this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, break that down for us. What type of momentum are you seeing? What value are you getting out of it? And then just kind of walk us through what happened in the past 2 years.
Absolutely. So the reason why I joined Subto was first of all, I didn't have any experience in real estate prior to this. I bought a book. It was called Wealth Without Cash, and that was Pace's book. And the only reason why I bought it was because it was an attractive cover. I liked the title of it, and I was like, let me start reading on this book. Well, that book actually came with video snippets of Pace Morby. So I got to see a little glimpse of how he teaches. And I was like, man, this guy has a true gift for teaching, right? Like the way he talks, the way he speaks is very easy to understand. So I started learning about Pace, and I was like, I want to learn more about this Subto community. So I found out about it. I ended up joining, and right away, man, they were like, make 50 friends. And I was like, okay, well, what do you mean by make 50 friends? Are we talking about online people? Like, is this in person? Anyways, I had a good MSA. His name was Avery, and he told me, he goes, look, man, just follow the blueprint. Pace has this laid out for a reason. So I did that. I followed the blueprint, made 50 friends, and that ended up becoming a successful part of my journey because I started taking action right away when I joined Subto. I've always been an action taker. There's only so much reading and podcasts you can watch before you need to start taking action. So I started taking action right away. 3 months into the mentorship, I find my first deal. It's a fourplex in Dallas. The seller, he had on a VA loan. He only had this property for a year. And as you know, if you're using a VA entitlement, you put zero money down and you have a low interest rate. Well, because of that, he had no equity. Here he is trying to sell his property on the market, and he's basically gonna pay 25, 30 grand out of pocket to sell his own property. We were able to find a solution for that because of making friends in the community. So I met a guy named Michael Manatsakania, and shout out to Michael, great friend of mine. I met him early on in my journey, and he told me he was a veteran and he also had VA properties. So I call up Michael and I say, hey, Michael, I've studied all the objections, man. I don't know this one. Like, I don't know how to get past this entitlement issue. So he goes, perfect, man. I got a video for you. Watch this video and call me back with some real questions. So I watched the video. I don't even call Michael. I got all the information I need. I go call the seller and I close them. No money down, no money out of pocket. I don't run any credit checks. I bought this with no banks. And now it's my property. Purchased it subject to with a 4% interest rate. I called Michael back, and Michael's like, okay, man, hit me, man. What questions you got? I said, look, man, I just need to know your address. And he's like, why? He's like, because I need to send you a bottle or a gift because I just closed the seller. And he's like, let's go, man. I'm like, so pumped for you. It was an amazing journey. So after that, the reason why I started getting a lot of traction was because once I posted the win in the community on Facebook, Facebook, it got Pace's attention. Pace reached out to me and he said, hey, I want to put you on the podcast. I got to know how you did this, man. 4 months, that's amazing. Puts me on his YouTube channel, and as soon as that thing comes out, I was not prepared for it, man. I had so many messages from people. To this day, I probably still haven't responded to all the messages, man. And so I had a partner at the time. He was my integrator, and he told me, he goes, look, man, you got all these people reaching out to you. Like, why not leverage this and turn this into a business? And so we started a wholesale business. So then I started wholesaling, started getting some traction. It was great. We were closing deals, doing low equity deals, expired listings, and all that good stuff. But then if you notice something about the community, I know you probably see this all the time. A lot of people are go-givers, right? A lot of people are changing lives. Like, they're not just being transactional. And I said, man, it started rubbing off on me. I was like, dude, I want to be that. I want to make a difference. I want to be a problem solver. I want to make a difference in the world. And so I was like, how do I make that transition from being just transactional to actually helping people out, making a bigger cause? Then I found out about foreclosures. And in foreclosures, that's what we focus on now. That's our primary focus on acquisitions. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, Jim, sometimes we don't even get an assignment fee. But being able to help a seller out, keep their property that they grew up in, right? A childhood home has sentimental value to them. Watching a lady cry, hug me, and tell me, thank you for helping me save my home. Sometimes it's a lot better than an assignment fee, because I know I'm going to make assignment fees later on, but just being able to help somebody, it's been fantastic. So yeah, man. And then ever since then, I've just been doing that. And then we do buy properties. I do have properties in Texas. So I have 9 doors in Texas right now. I'm looking to start acquiring more out here in SoCal. And then we're going to be focusing more on co-living. We're trying to solve another problem with affordable housing crisis right now. That's what I'm primarily focused on right now. And I also shoot podcasting. You know, I have a podcast as well. And I'm bringing value to new investors. We cover specific topics, whether it's wholesaling, whether it's the Morby method, transaction coordinators. I just want to bring more awareness to the community, and I want to bring experts that are in our community that know that. And I put myself in their shoes, and basically as a beginner, because I have direct access to these people, and I want to bring value to people that are starting up in the industry. And so that's what I've been doing, man. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So
yeah, that's a powerful thing. Thanks for sharing. There's so much to unpack there. Beginning of your journey, you said that as soon as you join, you're an action taker.
Right.
I think a lot of people out there in the audience, they go through this analysis for paralysis, right?
Yes.
They analyze too much and then they don't end up taking action. And so what advice can you give to those people that are scared, that have a mindset that need to overcome, or they're more risk averse? They're not certain whether to go into a partnership or do it alone. What advice do you have for those people worried about taking that first step?
Yeah, and I totally get it. So it's an uncertainty. You don't know. Like, a lot of people, they go, okay, well, if I start investing, it's risky. And obviously there's everything. There's a risk in everything in life. But never hold yourself back, because then you're going to go back in life later on and you're going to say, well, what if? What if I would have took that chance? What I tell people all the time is, look, partner up with somebody. You don't have to figure this out on your own. Like I told you in the beginning, they said, go make 50 friends. We have a community. I felt comfortable because I knew if I would have failed, I would have had support from people that I met, and then they can guide me. It's not just about Pace Morby. It's about the community. There's a bunch of mentors inside of the community. Any problem you run into, you can lean on your friends inside of the community, and they're going to help you out. That's what I love about Subto. Everybody's go-givers. If I call somebody right now and ask them a question, chances are they're going to pick up and give me a direct answer. So I would say, don't hold yourself back. And what really drives you? What is your why factor? Why are you even doing this? And reflect back on that and say, well, what happens if I don't accomplish that? What does that look like? Because I don't want to picture that. It's a scary road, man. And I visualized what that looked like. I wrote it out, manifested it. And I was like, that's scary, man. I don't want to go down that road. I want to go towards success. And if that means I'm going to fail, hey, you know what? We're all going to make mistakes. Till this day, even experts, man, they still make mistakes, but we're going to fail forward, right?
Absolutely. So making a mistake is where you learn the most, right?
That's where you learn the most, because, you know, you can read books, you can learn from podcasts and all that good stuff, but the real lessons are when you're failing forward, when you're running into those problems. Once you run into those problems, not everybody dissects those down on a deep level until you're actually real life experiencing those. And then once you learn how to overcome those, now you become a better investor. Now, next time when I run into that, I got this, man. I've already been here. Exactly. You know, that's my advice to people that are just starting out, that are scared to take action. Don't be scared to take action, man. That's why we're here. They're scared to take action. Reach out to me and I'll jump on the phone with them and I'll guide them.
Exactly. And reputation is usually how you learn, right?
Right.
You see it again, you hear it again, and you just continue to do it over and over and over, and eventually you'll just understand, okay, I can do this better next time.
Absolutely.
Right? And so going back to what you said earlier, you've come to a point where sometimes you'll help people, add value to the community, and you won't get compensated for it. At what point do you say, okay, that's enough, I need to take care of myself as well? Because I've run into issues like that in the past, where starting my own community, I'm just trying to provide as much value as I can to my network, and then eventually, hopefully, in return that I help someone succeed, they'll help me succeed as well. It's hard to really quantify that, right?
It is.
What's your advice on that? If being the go-giver, you also have to take care of yourself to draw that boundary. What is that fine line?
A lot of people, they get in and they go, okay, well, so many people help me out. Now I want to give back. And so they start helping people out. And then you get to a point, even my wife was telling me, she's like, hey, you're on the phone all day, you're helping all these people out, but they're not paying you, So what are you getting out of this? They're taking time from you and your family and you're not getting anything from it. And I said, don't worry, it's going to come back. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what was going to happen. All I know was I got help. I got value from the community. I'm passing the torch down and I'm bringing value where I can bring value. It ended up coming back full circle. So now all these people that reached out to me for help, now they're learning and they're bringing deals back to me. And they're like, hey, remember when you helped me with this? Can you help me close this deal? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So these people have already done all the work. They found the lead. They skip traced the lead. They got on the phone with the seller. They got it all the way to the 1 yard line. All I got to do is just get on the phone and have a conversation with them. Now we close a deal and I'm getting paid and they're getting paid. So that time I took to be on the phone with them, it came back full circle. And then it just became a domino effect. A lot of people started reaching out and it was like, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do this for me? Absolutely. And so now I position myself as almost like a private contractor. I don't have to have a team because I have so many people reaching out to do JV deals. And then I built a reputation off that. And now people are like, hey, go to Joseph. He's a leader in the community. He brings value to people. He helps them close deals. So if that's not your case, you just really have to figure out, what is my time worth? I want to bring value, but then also my time is valuable. If I'm on the phone with you, I could be on the phone with a seller closing the deal, making money. So you really have to weigh out your specific situation. That was my situation. I went in blinded, didn't know what was going to happen, and it came back around. Some people may say, hey, look, I have a flat fee. I charge consultation fees, and that's fine too. I think if you're taking someone's time, you should offer to pay them and compensate for their time, even if they're telling you, no, I'm just helping you out. It's like, no, man. I know you're busy. Let me compensate you for your time. Even if it's a couple $100s, it's just the gesture of saying, hey, thank you for your time and thank you for your knowledge. So that would be my advice to them.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's in reality, you're surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, but you're also building relationship at the same time. Right?
Yes.
And that's why you got to take care of each other if you're looking to continue to build on top of that. So that's fabulous advice. When you talk about you had built this momentum and now you're able to create a business, scale it, moving forward, at what point do you feel like, okay, this is way too much, I need to get help, I need to delegate the task? Because I think as entrepreneur, we have the tendency of doing everything on our own.
Yes.
Right. So how did you come up with this, okay, this is too much, I think now I need to scale, I need to buy more time back?
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up. I'm actually going through this right now. As entrepreneurs, like you just said, everybody wants to do everything. We want to wear all the hats. But you come to a point where you're actually holding yourself back because you say, I want to wear all the hats. And it could be for multiple reasons. It could be like, hey, I'm trying to save money, or it's, hey, I don't trust this individual to do the same job I can do. And so for me, I was running into a problem now because in Owners Club, Pace built this business for us. He said, hey, create your buy box, tell people what you're looking for, and I'm going to filter people from Subto over to you, and they're going to be basically bird dogging for you. And people don't know what bird dogging is. It's basically deal hunting. So these people were deal hunting for me, and now I have 9 bird dogs that are actively only working for me, and they're submitting deals on my website. So I went from having 0 deals submitted to me to now I have almost 120 in my queue right now. Now I was doing all the underwriting myself, but as I told you, I have a W-2, I have a family, I also run a wholesale business, I run a podcast. I can't do it all. I can't be in all the places at once. So I said, okay, how do I fix this problem? This is a good problem to have. So I said, I need to find an underwriter. I need an underwriter on my team. So I threw it out there. I said, hey, look, I'm looking to bring on an underwriter. We're going to start you off as an intern, 60, 90 days. If you're interested, it would be a great opportunity for you to join a team that we're actively doing deals. So I did that. And basically, now I have an underwriter on my team. He's underwriting all the properties that are submitted to me. And these are properties that we're looking to buy. On top of that, I have my podcast, and I used to be consistently putting out videos every 2 weeks. I've been 3 months now without putting out an episode because I was doing all the editing myself and I just no longer have time to do it. So I just recently, 2 weeks ago, hired a full-time video editor because I realized that I don't have time to do that anymore. And if I don't have time to do that, it stops. And what good is that? You know, the podcast brings me a lot of value as long as it brings value to my guests, but also brings a lot of value to me because I do JV deals off there. I get sponsorships, affiliates through there. So that money stops if I don't have that podcast going. So I think you have to come to realization that, you know, you can't do it all and figure out what you need in your business and start hiring out for that. Whether it's a commission-based or salary-based, figure out some type of structure where you can have people help you out and take a workload off you. And, you know, some people, man, believe it or not, they're wanting to just jump on your team and work for free because they realize that I know the money's going to come later. Right now, I'm trying to learn. I want to learn from an active team. I want to see how these deals work from A to Z. And so it's a great opportunity for people inside the community. It's like they don't have any traction. They don't know where to go. It's like, hey, come join my team. Let me show you what we do. We'll start you off, no pay. You'll learn. But eventually, don't worry, you're going to start getting paid. So
yeah, absolutely. So what about those that are new entrepreneur looking to start and get their real estate business off the ground and they don't have sustainable income just yet, but they still want to hire out? Do you recommend that they find potential partnerships where they can create win-win scenario and not have to pay them to hire them? Or do you think they should just work on themselves first, build something that has consistent business coming in, then start looking to hire and delegate?
I think it really comes down to your comfort level, Jim. Like if you feel like you have the knowledge to start the business up and start taking action, absolutely go that route. That's what I did. I started my business. I didn't start reaching out to people because the thing is, like, what do I have to bring to the table if I don't have a business that even started yet? So I wanted a proof of concept. I wanted to start taking action. And guess what? I didn't even really reach out for people. People started gravitating towards me because they saw me sharing these wins. My integrator, he reached out to me. He said, hey, look, I see you, man. Like, you're taking action. I don't know exactly what you're doing, but I want to be involved. And so he reached out and he said, hey, can I join your team? I said, look, I don't know what that pay is going to look like right now. He said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. So I think to answer your question, if you have the ability to start a business on your own, get the wheels rolling, then later have people join your team, absolutely do that. If you don't have the money to really go that route, like I was in a different situation. I have a 6-figure job. I had the money to put into marketing. If you don't have that, maybe join a team, somebody that's already established. Hey, what's your skill level set? You know, Pace has this thing called the Avatar series. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically Avatar series is like, hey, there's so many different ways you can make money in real estate. What is my path? Maybe I'm not meant to be on a phone. Maybe I'm a transaction coordinator. Maybe I'm a lender. Just finding a way you can bring value to a team and basically wedging yourself into that team and learning. Then once you learn the process, then you can either keep growing with that team or you can venture out and do your own thing. Yeah. But some way you got to figure out how you can get started. And that's the two options you got. Join a team or just start rolling on your own.
Yeah, the Avatar series, I remember watching it. Actually, Pace gave a speech about it at Limitless last year.
Okay.
Yeah, a conference. And I was there for the speech, and that was the first time I really got to know Pace. And he talked about building a community, having different avatars within your communities to serve everybody. And so I was inspired by that. And that's why I started to host my own real estate meetup, trying to build my own community.
That's awesome.
Now.
Yeah.
And it's been a year, and it's been working really well. So all thanks to Pace, just continuing to push out great content for all of us. So I think we bring up a lot of good points. So I want to go back to what you had originally talked about. You got into real estate investing.
Yep.
It serves as like a purpose, like a vehicle to build wealth for your family because you talked about your kids. Tell me a little bit about that for the audience to get to know you as a person. Like, what's the purpose behind real estate investing for you?
Yeah, really the purpose for me is people talk about all the time if they have kids. My Y factor is building a foundation for my children. I grew up a very tough lifestyle. I didn't have a lot of money growing up. My parents weren't rich. So that created almost this independence. I've always had this entrepreneurship because I'm like, hey, I don't want to feel this no more. I'm tired of feeling broke. If nobody's going to give it to me, I got to go out and get it. I think about that and I go, man, I don't want my kids to experience that, what I experienced. But then if you really think about it, you're like, maybe I do want my kids to experience that because that's what made me who I am today. So it's like these little mini life lessons. And, you know, kids watch your every move. Like I have 2 daughters. They're very young age and they're watching everything, man. They're getting on my computer. They're getting on the microphone. They're like, yo, bro, let me buy your house. And I'm like, that's not how dad sounds. It's just like, yeah, that's how dad sounds. So I look at that. My wife goes, look, she's watching you. You know, you're setting her up for success down the road. It's such a beautiful thing to see that. And there's nothing wrong with becoming a doctor or whatever. We need those in this world, right? But there's some people in this world like myself. I don't want to have to report to people all the time. I don't want to have to be tied down to a job. I like that freedom, man. And so I'm creating this foundation for my kids to learn what money is, the value of a dollar, and the value of pushing yourself beyond limits that people have a mindset issue. They limit themselves. And on top of that, man, I just really want to have that comfort lifestyle. Like, I'll give you an example. So one of my friends told me the other day, he said, man, I see you making money. Like, why aren't you buying a big house? Why aren't you buying a nice car? And I said, look, man, that's the mindset that kept us trapped for so long. I'm not after that. Right now, yeah, I can get that later on. Right now, my focus is I'm chasing freedom, man. I'm trying to buy my time back. And the only way you're going to do that is by creating passive income, where I'm having money generated every month through my properties. I'm making money while I'm sleeping. That's the goal, because obviously if you're working a W-2, you're depending on that income every month. I'm trying to replace that income so I can do the things that I want to do, change more lives. It started out with just focused on my children, trying to create that foundation for them. Then it started, okay, now I'm in a greater purpose now, because now I have control of helping people save their homes. That's really my drive now. Hey, how can I help as many people as possible? Because it's just a rewarding feeling, man. Being able to put all that together is just what really drives me. Being able to help people and then creating this empire, this foundation for my children, that's what drives me. That's my why factor.
That's awesome. That's great
Thank you,
to hear. Yeah, congratulations on.
What is your why factor, Jim?
My why factor, I would say I share pretty similar mission and value as you do. We're pretty aligned in that way, that the reason why I started to build a community through my meetup is because I actually get fulfillment by helping people, by adding value to my
That's
network.
awesome.
Yeah, and if I'm able to see someone succeed, especially someone who has walked my path in the past, and I can clearly tell, okay, you remind me of myself when I was young,
Yes.
right? And so that makes me want to mentor him or her even more, because it's about giving back, but also giving them the tools, resources, connections that they might not have, that I didn't have when I was their age.
Right.
So that I can help them compress time frames, share some wisdom, my experience with them, and just kind of guide them through. As long as they're coachable, I think typically it usually ends up in a very successful relationship.
Absolutely agree with you.
And that's what in return makes me fulfilled at the end of the day. It makes me happy, have fun doing it. My last meetup, it was my 1-year anniversary. We networked till 11:30 p.m. I had to kick people out of the house. That was the office, because we needed to shut it down. But we moved it to a restaurant where we networked all the way to 2 a.m.
And that's how it be at these events, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's that adrenaline rush, that high, that sense of belonging to the community that really makes me show up consistently for my.
It starts to feel like a family.
It does.
It does, yes.
It does.
The family you get to choose, by the way.
Exactly. And that's the beauty behind taking this entrepreneur path, right? You get to choose who you want to work and the freedom that you can create for yourself down the road. And going back to what you said, it's all about delayed gratification,
Yes.
right? And that's what most people don't see it that way. Like, yeah, you can go buy a lot of these fancy houses, cars, have nice things and so this and that, but at the end of the day, that only lasts for only a couple, seconds, weeks, whatever. But real fulfillment, real happiness comes from building these connection relationship that we talked about.
Yes.
Being part of a community. It's a powerful thing. Yeah, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share with the audience?
No, man, I would just say you're starting out, man, and you're getting your traction going. I want to stress the fact that you don't have to do everything on your own. A lot of people feel like they do. Lean on the community. That's what this community is all about. Reach out and just find out what is it that you want, and then how do I bring that value to that person? Bringing value to people and cementing yourself, wedging yourself into deals and joining teams is the way to go. Don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. And on top of that, man, if you have a deal that you're at the 1-yard line and you haven't got figured out how to close that deal properly, reach out to someone like me or yourself, Jim, and we can help you close that deal and get you paid. Some people, they even get deals locked up. They've gotten that part, but then they're like, well, I don't know how to dispo this deal. I don't have buyers. Well, that's the beauty of building relationships, right? In these meetups, because I know the local buyers around here, and I could definitely get you assistance. Even if you have the deal locked up, I can help you get it across the finish line, get you paid by getting that dispoed. So I really love what you're doing here, Jim, bringing a lot of value to the people. I just want to say, man, I appreciate you for having me as a guest on your podcast and inviting me on your platform, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're always welcome to come back. And what's your buy box, what you're working on, and how can they contribute towards what you
so I have a website. You can find my buy box. It's dealswithjoseph.com. If you go on that website, I have a form on there you could fill out, and it has my buy box on what I'm looking for. I'm primarily looking for properties that are located in Southern California, Los Angeles County, County and also Dallas-Fort Worth area. My primary focus, I'm looking for co-living properties right now, so pad splits. Anything that meets those criteria, and all the specs are on there on the buy box. On top of that, I'm also doing flips in Southern California. I'm not doing flips in Texas at the moment. So if you have fixer-uppers, agents, bring deals my way and I will definitely get you paid one way or another. We'll figure out how to get you paid. And that's what I'm looking for. Also, if you're a lender, we want to work with you. Go on lendingwithjoseph.com and, we'll get you set up on a forum there as well. And, we'll bring opportunities your way. So you can also look me up on Instagram at the Joseph Marohn and let's connect, man. Let's chat. I'd love to see how I can bring value to your business.
Awesome. Well, that concludes another episode of The Real Estate Path. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.